Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Sarah Maceo, the CRM specialist here at the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. Today we're learning about the GMCVB partner Extranet and how to make changes, and we've already covered some basics about it, how to update company information, contacts, descriptions, videos, and now we're up to managing images. We're going to get started with that in just a moment. Before we do so, I just want to remind you that you can download the how-to document, the latest guide, at www.tinyurl.com/GMCVB partner Extranet. And we're going to be using our login page, http:/partners.miamiandbeaches.com/partner-login to log into the Extranet to make our images changes. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so you can see where I'll be updating those images. There we go. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and show you on our website where those images will be appearing. So on our website, miamiandbeaches.com, you can see that right now we're looking at a partner detail record. And you can see that this particular partner has a whole bunch of images in the image gallery right below the main picture here, and the user can scroll through and view all the different images that are in there. So to make sure that your partner listing is nice and robust and depicts your company, I would recommend that you choose some images and add those to the partner extranet so they appear on the website. And the way that you do that is on the partner login page. We're going to use that to log in. Here we go. And once we log in, you'll have the options that are available to you right in the middle of the screen, and we're going to choose Manage Images. All right, and once we have clicked in there, we can see that there are already a number of images in the system. There's 3 in here, and they've all been approved already. And we're going to go ahead and add a brand new one, but before we do that, I do also want to point out that in order to delete any of these, all you would have to do is click on the row to highlight it with that gray shading and then click on the delete link, which I'm not going to do now because we do actually need these images in our visitor profile for my test account. So, but we'll go ahead and add a brand new one to show you how it's done. And by the way, to open an existing one, you would just need to click on the name of the image and it'll open the same form that you'll see right here when I click on the Add New button. All right, here we go. So we'll start at the beginning. So basically here it will tell you at the top we accept .jpg and .gif file types only. So we're going to go ahead and browse for the image file. Before we do that, I just want to point out to you that one very important detail about this Managing Images section is that the images that you try to upload must meet certain criteria. And if the image does not meet that criteria, then you will just get an error message and you will not be able to upload it. So the criteria is that the image must be at least 605 pixels wide by 360 pixels tall, so 605 by 360. When you look at those pixels and those sizes, it tells you that the image is actually required to be landscape. So you cannot try to upload something that is portrait because 605 by 360 is not the same as 360 by 605. If you try to upload something that's portrait, it will give you an error message. The image also cannot be square. It has to be at least 1 pixel wider than tall. But having said that, your image does not have to be 605 by 360 exactly. It just has to be at least those dimensions, and then our image cropper functionality will crop the image to the appropriate dimensions necessary. Having said that, if you try to upload something that's just much different than what the specifications call for, the 605 by 360, and our cropper crops it for you, then sometimes it might kind of mess things up a little bit. If there are people in the picture, they might look bigger or smaller, sometimes stretched out a little bit. So you may have to play around with that a little bit and see where you end up. And also the file size maximum on this uploader is 2 megabytes. So you'll not be able to upload any files that are larger than that. So let's go ahead and browse for an image and see if we can't find one here. I'm going to go ahead and use something from in here. This one looks good. we'll use this 5-star experience.jpg. I'll double click on it, and it told me just a minute ago image loading. Now, had the image not met the requirements, then you would have seen right below the file name, the image file name, it would have given you like a red message saying that your image does not meet the criteria. And in that case, all you'd have to do is click on the Browse button again and click on an image that does meet the criteria. In this case, the image did meet the criteria for the uploader, and you can see that it gave me 3 different sizes that I can preview of the image. And this really is just informational, but it tells me that the upload was successful. So we'll start back at the top, though, because we skipped over a few things, starting with the Show on Web and the logo checkbox. So the Show on Web tells us, yes, it's ready to be displayed on the web. So in order for it to actually show, you do have to select the Show on Web checkbox. And had this been a logo, you would need to check off the logo checkbox, because there are some places on our website where we do not display logos. It just doesn't look quite right. So if it had been a logo, just check that box. Next, we want to give this image a caption. So, all right, that could be a caption, let's say. And next, there's also a little sort order button. So if I know already that I'm going to be uploading 8 images and I want this image to be number 3 in that list, then I would give it the number 3 or 4, whatever number you want that to be. And scrolling down a bit more, you do see some categories down here. Now these, you are not required to select a category, and as you can see, the categories listed here do not apply. If they did apply, you would know that that's something that you need to check off, because we would have told you about that before. So for now, you can leave that completely blank because none of these apply. They're not Miami Spice related at all. And then just below that, you see a little authorization message basically saying that you give us permission to display the image on miamibeaches.com and any applicable microsites. Do note that we do not use the images anywhere else in any printed publications or anywhere at all without your consent. This is just to be used on our websites. So in order to continue, you do have to click the Yes, I agree to the above terms and conditions, and then click on the Submit button. Once you do that, it will again tell you that your submission has been accepted, and just like every other change on the extranet except for special offers, images go through an approval process, and usually our approval process takes less than 2 business days. Sometimes we get it done the same business day depending on our backlog. And we basically will review the image to make sure that everything is acceptable about it, to make sure that it looks right. If they are approved, if the images are approved, you will not be notified. But if there's a problem with the image of some kind, then we will give you a call or send you an email so that we can hopefully rectify the problem and approve the image for you. So once you're here in the images now, you can see that after we've submitted, we have this new image that does appear with a different status that says Add New Pending Approval. So once that image has been approved, the status will change to Approved. All right, and so for now, I'm going to actually go ahead and go back and delete that. So all I have to do there is highlight the row so it has that gray shading that we can see, and click on the Delete button. And it'll tell you, again, your deletion has been emailed and your information will be updated promptly. And now when you go back, you'll actually still see the image here with the status of deleted pending approval. And that is how to manage images. And so from here, you can choose any of these other options at the top, or you can also return to main menu, log out, or if you're a partner that represents multiple companies, such as a restaurant with a hotel, a hotel with a restaurant inside rather, or a hotel with a spa inside, something of that nature, your Access Related Partner link will become active, and you can click on that to toggle between the different companies that you represent. And that does it for managing images. So I'm going to take you back to our main screen here that has my information on it. In case you have any questions, you can give me a call or send me an email at Sarah at GMCVB.com, or you can give me a call, 305-539-3059. Thanks so much for joining me, and have a wonderful day.